Hi Libra, welcome to your love reading for September 2016. This month I'm working with 2 decks again, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use this one for confirmation, so we're going to get to this in a minute. And I'm going to pull 9 cards. I wanted to tell you something because this is the only sign where I felt guided to do this, so I hope the others don't get mad. I looked to see what was at the bottom of the deck after like shuffling the living daylights out of both decks. And it was weird that you have kind of like a similar theme. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you the bottom of the deck after I pull the cards, but look at this. You have the Four of Swords and the Hermit from each deck, and both kind of represent like a timeout. So it could, I mean, we're going to do a reading in a minute. I just felt like I should share it. It could mean that, you know, this is both of these cards represent like a timeout. You need solitude, you need a break. So for those of you who are in a troubled relationship, you may just need some space. Or it could be that your partner, asks you for some space. This kind of seems like it's time for peace and it's time for you. Okay, so we will get to this in a minute, but first I'm going to pull 9 cards from this deck. I've already shuffled it, so let's just get the cards for you. The first card is the Eight of Wands. The Six of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Hermit. Isn't it weird how these cards, I showed them to you and they ended up in this reading anyway? Okay, the next card, moving on, is the Empress, the Sun, the Fool, the Six of Coins, and the final card is the Five of Cups. The bottom of the deck, and this is, kind of the main energy that will be around you when it comes to your love life for the month of September, and it is the Nine of Coins. Now, in a love reading, the Nine of Coins, it does represent, it means that you're going to be fine on your own. I mean, the cards that I showed you at the beginning of the reading, before we even pulled the cards, here they are, the Four of Swords and the Hermit. So I kind of feel like this ties into the Nine of Coins, because to me, the Nine of Coins, it is a card of independence and self-reliance. And you don't need anyone to hold your hand. And you don't need anyone to reassure you. You can succeed on your own. You don't need someone kind of egging you on and giving you a pep talk. It just means that financially you're stable and you can bring in much more abundance on your own than with someone else. So if there's a partner where you kind of feel like it's starting to become a codependent relationship, this just means that you don't really need them. Like, make sure that you're not staying in a relationship for the wrong reasons, because this card does represent material things. This is a love reading, but this is something that has to be brought up. It means that, you're capable of a lot of abundance on your own, of having all the material things that you want, all the money that you want. And, you bring this in on your own. You have no one to thank but yourself. The same applies for those who are single. If you're single, it just means that, you may be single and you don't want to be, but September would be a great month for you to make the most of it. If you're not really, in the relationship that you want to be, focus on abundance, because this card is telling you that you can make more money, find the perfect job, and just kind of have, everything ready for when you do meet that ideal partner. Okay, so first card is the Eight of Wands. So to me, this card represents a lot of movement, and it could be that you're traveling. This card does represent travel, but it represents, a lot of movement and a lot of excitement. So I feel like those who are in a relationship, like something happens. I feel like it's the beginning of the month because it's the first card, or you're coming into the month with this energy from August, where it's been a good month for you as a couple. I feel like there's been some new developments, exciting changes, good news. This is also a card of communication, good news. And I feel like you're coming into the month in a good place with a lot of kind of new things, new energy. And you have the Six of Swords. So this card is a message that, you're moving on to a much better place. So I feel like, in August, maybe earlier in July or June, you were in a not so positive place, because the Six of Swords means that you're moving on to something much healthier. And I feel like there's been some type of like positive development for you. Positive development where you feel like, we're doing much better as a couple. Like, we're getting along. We're finally, on the same page. And it could be mentally, because this is the suit of air. Mentally, you're on the same page, and, you're moving in a much more positive direction. You do have the Four of Swords, and like I said, this was at the bottom of the deck, and here it is again. It was at the bottom of the deck, I think, from that one. Here it is. But there's still this energy of, like, space. Like, especially with the Nine of Coins at the bottom of the deck, I feel like you or your partner, I'm not sure which, is a general reading, so it's hard to tell. Someone needs, like, their space. Someone needs time to kind of be their own person without constantly holding the other person's hand and reassuring them. This just, it's a card of recharging. And it could be that, you've been through something really difficult here, where you finally succeeded in moving in a positive direction, but you still need, some time. You need some time to collect your thoughts. I'm looking at the other cards in this reading. I even kind of feel like it could be just one partner. It could be one person in the relationship that kind of like needs a break. I don't know. I keep getting this message of like codependence, and like somebody needs time to like be their own person, and like somebody doesn't really like that. We have the Five of Cups as the final card. So I feel like here, you need some space and you need time to kind of figure out what's going on inside your head and, what you want. But I feel like you've already been through something challenging here, those who are in a relationship. And you're in a much more positive place than you were before. But still, there's like this lingering energy of like, I need some space. I need to be on my own. Now, for those who are single, I don't want to forget those who are single, because I've been forgetting in some readings. The Eight of Wands is just telling you that, there's something exciting, happening for you, possibly in the beginning of the month. Like I told the couple, something exciting, some positive news. It could be that, the positive news is that someone you were interested in is interested and wants to ask you out. It could be that you're traveling to meet this person, or that you meet someone while you're traveling. This is just, movement. So if you've been stuck in a rut in your love life, like something is changing here. You're finally kind of seeing excitement, and you're seeing movement, and you're no longer kind of stuck. And you have another message confirming that, telling you that you're moving on to something much more positive. For those who are single, I feel like you may have been in a relationship where something was kind of toxic, and I feel like someone has finally realized that this person is not going to bring what I thought into my life, and I'm moving on. And I feel like you're moving on to a much better place as a person. Like you finally have a sense of inner peace. And again, they're telling you to really kind of enjoy this time being on your own. It doesn't mean there's not going to be another partner for you, but I feel like here you really need to kind of find yourself. You need peace. You need tranquility. It could be that you get away. Both of these cards sometimes represent, travel and kind of getting away from everything. I feel like here you need to heal as well. This can mean that you're healing physically, that you're healing emotionally. And I forgot to mention it, but this could also apply to those who are already in a relationship. It could mean that you went through something really difficult with your partner and you're still together, but you still need that space, to heal emotionally. It's like something, it's hard to say because it's a general reading, but it's like something like still has not been healed emotionally. Like you still need some space to kind of figure things out. So down here we have the Hermit. And the Hermit does represent solitude. It means that you need some time to yourself. I feel like I'm just repeating myself from the Four of Swords, but this is a major arcana. It means that you want to know the truth of what's going on in your life. You want to know the truth. You want some answers, but this is going to require a lot of digging, a lot of soul searching in order to get to the root of the problem of like what's going on here. I feel like someone needs to like find themselves spiritually. And, you know, with the Four of Swords and the synchronicity of what I did before the reading, I feel like this card and this card are probably the most important cards in this entire reading. So think about, what does that mean for you? I feel like here you need to see the light. I feel like you need to see the truth, but you may only be able to do that on your own. For those who are single, again, you know, that's what I said about this card. Use this time where you're on your own to kind of figure out who you are, what you want in a partner. You already have this energy of the Nine of Coins telling you that you can be incredibly successful financially, you know, setting the foundation for your future, for your children, for the spouse that will come into your life. You know, you may need this time to figure out, you know, what changes you want to make as far as like who you're bringing into your life. Maybe something about yourself. This is just soul searching on a deep level, a very deep level. Then you have the Empress. So the Empress is the ultimate abundance card. This can mean that you don't have to compromise, that you can have it all. You can have everything that you want. You can have financial stability, you can have happiness, you can have the marriage that you always wanted, the children, love, you know, your dream partner is something that I'm getting. You don't have to compromise. And I feel like here with the Four of Swords and in the Hermit and the weird synchronicity that happened before the reading, that they're telling you don't have to compromise. Like, take some time to think. Maybe somebody's about to get engaged and they're telling you, like, don't make a mistake, especially if you feel like you're compromising in some way because you feel like, you know, this person has most of the qualities that I want. Maybe they don't have this or this or this, but, you know, you can't have everything. But she's telling you that you can have everything, so don't compromise. For those who are single, or maybe you're dating or you're engaged, this is just kind of like an exclamation mark from the universe telling you that you don't have to compromise. You can have it all, but only if you're really kind of, you know, looking for that. Even for those who are married, I mean, I feel like this could also be telling you the same message. You don't have to compromise, especially if you've already, you know, you feel like you moved on as far as something difficult, but still something's nagging away at you is what I get from these two cards. Something's nagging away at you. It's just telling you that you don't have to settle. You can have all the abundance that you want in the form of happiness and financial stability and children and everything. But this may come after a lot of soul searching, and this does not necessarily mean that you leave your spouse behind, but it could mean that there are some changes that have to happen for those who are already in a relationship. Now, the next card is the Sun. So to me, the Sun represents positive energy, a positive outcome. It represents marriage and children. You know, and it's right next to the Empress. Again, I feel like she's telling you, you don't have to compromise. You don't have to tell yourself, well, you know, I have this and this and this and this person, and I should be thankful. You can have everything here. I feel like there's a much more positive future waiting for you. Again, it doesn't mean you're leaving your partner behind, but it could mean that everything has not been worked out, even though you have already done some work on the relationship. For those who are single, this card, you know, can represent marriage. It just means there's a lot of positive energy around you, especially with the Empress being here. It's like they're telling you that, you know, September is the perfect month for you to bring in a partner that just kind of radiates positive energy and is a potential marriage partner. You know, it could be the potential father or mother of your children. I mean, the opportunities are just kind of endless when it comes to the Sun. It's the most positive card in the major arcana, right next to the most abundant card. In fact, I just noticed that all three here are major arcana. So the universe is kind of screaming at you when you see one of these. You need time on your own, or you really need to think very carefully. You don't have to compromise because you can have it all. Even if you convince yourself that, well, you can't have everything. Yes, you can. And, you know, there's an opportunity here for a lot of abundance and positive energy in the month of September. Now, you also have the Fool. So the Fool is a new beginning. But this is something where, you know, you don't really have any guarantees that something's going to work out. It just means you take a giant leap of faith when it comes to a relationship. So this is a love reading. I mean, I hate to say this because I mentioned this on Facebook. I feel like a lot of these readings are like not so positive, but I'm looking at what's going on in these three cards. I'm going to start off for those who are already in a relationship. I feel like, someone here with a Fool, it's like you take a giant leap of faith and you finally, you understand the messages that are here and you begin to see them play out in your life. And you feel like, I could find, happiness and everything that I deserve, maybe in a different place. And take a, leap of faith and maybe move in a different direction or with a different partner. Again, this is a risk that you're taking. And it could be, I have to say, it could be that the risk that you take is to stay with your partner. It doesn't mean that what you're risking is that you're moving away. Maybe the risk is that, yeah, I'll give you a second chance. And the next card was the Six of Coins. So this is a card of generosity, it's a card of help and receiving and getting what you deserve. So make sure that you're getting what you deserve if you're giving someone a second chance, because I did get that message over here at the beginning of the reading. It's like you've already hit that bump, but you made it through. Yet this, I still see these doubts going on here and this message of don't compromise. I feel like, yeah, maybe you're willing to give someone a second chance, but are you getting what you deserve? Are you getting, what you truly deserve? The happiness and the love that you deserve? Are you receiving anything? Because here there's sadness. It's like you received, but yet there's this, sadness that is still there. And I feel like, I hate to say it, but I feel like someone may kind of give someone a second chance and then still feel like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. The Five of Cups does represent kind of disappointment, that something didn't work out. And it's kind of dwelling on, I wish that hadn't happened, I wish that hadn't happened. It's just kind of dwelling on something that's really sad. So, I received that message, as far as like giving someone a second chance, but it could go either way. The Fool can also just mean that, like I said, that you move in a different direction. That someone just kind of, those who are maybe just dating or engaged, that maybe, after plenty of soul searching, you realize that you don't have to compromise. It could be that someone else comes along, that you finally see, like, I can have what I deserve. It could be that, this person is like right in front of you, those who are single or maybe just living together. You see, what you truly deserve and you take, a giant risk. But again, there could be this sense of sadness and maybe kind of wondering like what could have been with the other person. Or some of you may even kind of regret the mistake that you feel like you made a mistake. It's hard to say because it's a general reading, but I feel, just kind of looking at this reading, a couple of things just, come through. That in the month of September, you're supposed to be focusing on you. I get that from this card. I get it from this one, from the Nine of Coins, the Four of Swords, and the Hermit. Remember that weird synchronicity. I showed you both of these cards at the beginning of the reading. I don't know why. I was just told to. They were at the bottom of both of these decks. This one was in this one was from this one, and then here they are again. So I feel like these two cards are the most important cards in this entire reading, and this just means like a timeout. You need to figure out what's going on in your head. You need to know what's for your highest good. And I feel like, the cards around it explain, part of the story. You don't have to settle. You can have it all. You do always hear that term. You can't have everything. Yes, yes, you can. This whole reading is screaming at you. Yes, you can. And I feel like you've already been through, a bump or two here where you've, you moved on, or you feel you moved on, but yet there's this energy, it's still there. The Four of Swords, the Hermit, one right after the other of like space. I need time to find myself, and this energy of like, disappointment, like just like, why didn't this work out? Just, kind of sadness. So I feel like you can avoid this energy of sadness and disappointment if you're really kind of, understanding that you don't have to settle. You don't have to settle for second best. Take that risk, whatever it is that comes up for you in September. A crazy risk, a giant leap of faith. Remember that you are your own person. That's the main energy that you have to work with. You can have all the abundance that you want, all the love that you want. You don't be codependent on anyone. Okay, so let's see what confirmation cards come up for you. First card, Nine of Swords. Just waiting to see for my camera to focus. There we go. the Tower, and the Six of Pentacles. And you already have that message down here, so it's like a double whammy. That's what I've been calling it for the other signs. The bottom of the deck, the Two of Swords. So to me, the Two of Swords represents a difficult decision. It's kind of like one of those energies where you know you have to do something and you really don't want to do it, and it's just kind of like it's haunting you and you'd rather do anything else but see the truth, take action, and you're just, you know, you're sticking your head in the sand. But this does represent, you know, a difficult choice that you have to make, and it could be that you're choosing between two outcomes or two people. Now you have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords, to me, it represents fears. Like you're afraid of something happening. You know, you're afraid of a certain outcome to where you have nightmares of like, you know, oh God, this is going to happen in this relationship or in my love life. When I look at this card, and I've never noticed this, it looks like she's, well, like she's sleeping, and we usually see someone in a bed, but there was a message that was coming through that I feel was channeled because it didn't quite come through. I feel like while you're kind of focusing on these fears of what's going to happen, the Nine of Swords represents worry without merit. While you're busy worrying about what could happen, you're kind of letting time pass and opportunities pass. You know, this message of the Empress. You're sleeping while, you know, all these opportunities are passing you by for happiness and love and truly having it all. So you're worried here about something happening that's not even going to happen. And it could be that you end up alone, or that you make a mistake. Whatever that is, the Nine of Swords represents a lot of worry and anxiety. Of course, this could also represent, you know, the change that you have to make here. For those who are single, it could be that you're worried that you're going to stay single for the rest of your life. But again, that's not what I see in this reading. In fact, I see no marriage and children after a lot of soul searching. Now, you also have the Tower. So I feel like some of you, you know, those who, you know, where some big decision really applies to you, and you're really kind of facing your fears, and you know you don't have to compromise. It could be that you make a decision and there is kind of like this explosion in your life. That's the energy of the Tower. It's like this is a shock, and it could be a shock to you and everyone around you. A huge change that happens in your life for the better, because the Tower represents sudden change, unexpected things, unexpected things happening. But the Tower represents kind of tearing down this tower that just, it doesn't work anymore, and rebuilding something that really represents who you are now and what you feel you truly deserve. Now down here you have the Six of Pentacles. So this is one of those like double whammy messages, because you have it here in the Six of Coins. Same message, same card, just kind of, you know, different. They called it coins in this deck and pentacles over here. This is, you know, kind of screaming at you what you deserve. You should be aiming for what you deserve, not what you feel that you have, or what, you know, what life gave you, what God gave you. Be looking for what you deserve. And I feel like if you're not doing that, then you're cheating yourself. It could be that, you know, look at what's going on right here. What you deserve, Six of Pentacles, what you deserve, with a risk right in the middle, the Fool. It's like, you know, what you deserve, it involves a new beginning. It involves a new beginning, a risky new beginning, but you have everything that you've ever wanted right here. So again, I just get a strong message that for some of you, like, you do something unexpected, and the Tower, you know, is kind of screaming that at you. You do something unexpected, but you end up getting, you know, what you know, should have received to begin with. And I feel like there could be sudden and unexpected changes in the month of September, going into October. But again, just kind of focus on yourself. Don't worry about anyone else. Everyone else would just, they will be fine. Just kind of focus on your happiness and your abundance. Okay, Libra, this has been your love reading for September 2016. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.